Well, welcome to the third and final installment of the 2021 is coming to you straight savage live stream extravaganza event. It's been a great, this is live stream 3. It's been a great series so far. I really enjoyed the first conversation we had on my personal page, and then had a great conversation with my friend Taryn Lee on the business page a few days ago. And now I'm super excited to be here in the Rich Abundance group, which is obviously all of you that are watching know my private Facebook group. Where we do our monthly wealth forecasts, and it is the home of my 12-week free mini program, Abundance, Wealth Creation in the New Paradigm. So hopefully you've all participated in that free program and gotten heaps and heaps of free content out of that. And today I really want to talk about some things that are going to challenge the way you think. They're going to challenge your ability to continue to operate blindly in the world. And so my hope is that you will leave here today questioning some things that you haven't questioned before, and asking yourself who it is that you truly desire to be in the world. And so because of that, I am only speaking today to the highest level version of you. I literally have no interest in speaking at all to any of the lower vibrating or lower dimension versions of you. I want to speak to your oversoul. I want to speak to your highest self. I want to speak to that highest level version of you today. And so I would love for all of you that are watching now live with me or are watching the replay to just at this moment acknowledge that and tap into that version of you. Hesty, can you go shut the door to the kitchen for me and ask them to just, super noisy and loud in my house today. So I'd like you to just acknowledge that, and I would ask that you allow that version of you to now show up and be fully present for the entirety of this live stream today, and that you really, really allow this information to hit you at that level. And allow these questions and allow these topics and allow these thoughts to activate you at that level of you. Because the truth is that in this new paradigm, we all have the opportunity to shed and leave all of those other versions of ourselves behind. Like, now is the time. There is such a sense of urgency right now, because we are moving into a whole new energetic reality on this planet. And as we begin the age of Aquarius, and as we really tap into this new 240-year cycle that is all about the collective, we have an opportunity also to up-level individually. And this is what I've seen so many people that have successfully transitioned into the new timeline. This is what I've seen them do successfully, is own their sovereignty, step into the highest level version of themselves, embrace themselves as the most powerful creator in their reality, fully engage that highest level version of themselves to step forward and be present in their day-to-day activity. And also really be willing to look at and shed any programming and conditioning and limiting beliefs or scarcity or lack mentality that show up along the way. Really, really being willing to allow that highest level version of self to tackle those problems and to tackle those challenges. but doing it with the knowing that we get to create our reality. In each moment of every day, we create our reality. That literally we are creating every single thing that's happening in our external reality is happening as a direct result of what we're creating in our inner landscape. So, yeah, that's kind of the first part, is that I really want you to allow that version of yourself to show up and be present today, because the outcome of this final live stream will be entirely different for you if you do allow that version of you to fully step up and be present today. So I want to talk, I got this incredible message this morning on Instagram, and I go through my own Instagram messages every day, every morning, and I get a lot of just people saying hi, saying thank you, or saying, hi, or responding to, an auto DM or something that's been sent out to them, reminding them to listen to the Wealth Witch podcast, or whatever the case may be. And so I go through and I send personal responses back to people, because I feel that's really important. And this morning, though, I got a message from a man named Isaiah, and it was really impactful. It was a really, really impactful. Alexis, if it's not letting you watch, just log out and come back in. There's some weird stuff happening with Facebook right now, so if you're not able to see the video, just log out of Facebook entirely, log back in, and come back into the live stream. He sent this really kind message, and the message was it was, just saying, hey, I came across your page recently, and, you're really inspiring me, and I'm really, loving what you're having to say. And, I love that you're taking a different approach. And he was talking a little bit about wealth and mindset, and that, how many wealthy people are actually living in scarcity and, lack, how many financially wealthy people are living in scarcity and lack. And, it really hit home, because one of the things that he said was that he loved about my message is that I frequently am talking about action, and that it requires action, and that it requires dedication to actually going after the things that you desire. And so I want to talk a little bit about that today, because that is a big message of mine. And if you haven't heard that from me, you're either new to me or you've been living under a rock. So I do want to talk a little bit about that today. And he also talked about this other concept that I really want to talk about on this live stream. And it is the concept of being generous with self. And so those are kind of the things that we're going to touch on today. And again, I fully expect a lot of what I'm saying today to really, really challenge you. And it may trigger you. And I really encourage you to just sort of sit in that. And again, like always, question everything. A bunch of people have hopped on after the very beginning of this live stream. So I'm just going to reiterate the things that I said at the beginning, which is that today, for the purpose of this live stream, I only want to speak to the highest level version of you. All lower vibrations, all lower dimensional versions of you, like, they're just not welcome here. I want to speak to the highest level version of you. Because that is the version of you that is the most powerful creator in your reality. And I want you to walk away from this final live stream feeling like you have some tools to go out and change your reality, because you absolutely have the ability to do that. So I'm just asking that everyone bring the highest level version of themselves fully forward, to be present, to be able to receive whatever the activation and transmission is that's needed, that's exactly right for you. And everyone's going to receive something that's a little bit different. And that's the other thing that I know, because you will get what you came here for if you intend to get what you came here for. So, I want to talk about awesome. So that's great, Jackie. That means the highest level version of you is here and ready to play. I love it. So we all have the ability to tap into that highest level version of ourselves at any given moment. But even the accessing of that version of us requires dedication and discipline. It requires that we be committed to living as the highest level version of ourselves. And that commitment actually requires action. We can't simply say we want to be the highest level version of ourselves, say we want to access the highest level version of ourselves, say we want to connect to our divine immortal soul, say we want to connect to God, source, universe, all that is, and then not do anything about it. Like our words mean nothing if we do not put forceful, inspired action behind them. And that forceful part is the part I really want to talk about, because there is this incredible sense of urgency right now. We do not have time for people to sit around talking about how they want to be the highest level version of themselves, talking about how they want to live the life that they deeply desire. We actually need you to step into action to create that in your reality. And I think so often, like, you know, as spiritual people, especially as we're going through these processes and we're reading all the books and we're doing all the work and we're like, oh yeah, you know, I want to live the highest level version of myself. I want to connect to my higher self and source. And I want to, you know, create wealth and abundance in my life. And I want to live the life of my dreams. But then we just sit around continuing to talk about how we want those things, and we don't actually take action toward those things. That is the key. Like, it is literally the key of creation is action. And right now, more than ever, we need to take forceful action. So we need to take action that is remarkable. We need to take action that is going to be noticeable. We need to take action that is not just doing half measures, right? Because that's the other thing I see people in my community doing a lot. It's like they say they want the thing, they say they're going to take the inspired action, and then they half-ass the inspired action when they know that they're meant to be playing a much bigger game, and they know that they're meant to be taking a much bigger action, but they play it safe and half-ass it. They play it safe and take a tiny step because they hear me talk about the law of compounding, and they think, a little step's better than no step at all. Well, yes, a little step is better than no step at all, but right now in this world that we are living in, where chaos and fuckery abounds, that law of compounding, those little baby steps, we don't have time for you to fuck around with that right now. Right now, what we really need you to do is take remarkable action. Take action that is remarkable. Take action that is noticeable. Take action that is forceful. Take action that is actually going to transform your life. Because the other beauty of the energy that we have in the world right now is that we are being energetically supported to catapult our realities to that place that we desire to be, if we show up and we are dedicated and we are disciplined to that. But those of you that are half-assing, like, literally get off the live stream right now. Like, if you're not willing to shift that, if you're not willing to change that, if you're not willing to look at where you're half-assing things, like, literally just get off. Got 40 on. If you're like, nah, I'm good, I'm gonna keep half-assing, I'm gonna keep doing my little baby steps, like, I don't wanna be pushed, I don't wanna be stretched outside my comfort zone, get off now, because that is not the highest level version of yourself. That is not the version of you that I wanna be talking to. I want to talk to the version of you that's willing to get uncomfortable. I want to talk to the version of you that absolutely knows that they are meant to be playing bigger. And I would love for anyone who's watching right now, if you know that you're meant to be playing a bigger game than you're playing right now, we lost one. We lost two. We know that if you know that you are meant to be playing a bigger game than you're playing right now, put yes in the comments. Let me know. Like, be like, yes, I've been half-assing. Yes, I know I'm meant to be playing a bigger game. We lost one more. We're down to 38. So we're down to 37. Good. Go. Literally go. Like, if you are not willing to step up right now, this conversation is not for you. If you are not willing to do the things, this conversation is not for you. Like, this is the one time that I'm actually like, I'm glad the numbers are going down. Because I don't have time. Like, I literally don't have time. So I just had a expansion of my life purpose session with Maria right before this call. And I was given my new life purpose on this planet. And it's it's starting to sink in. While I was on the phone with Maria, I was like so tired. I was yawning. I was like agitated. I couldn't absorb what she was saying. I was feeling shit. I was just like, oh, why is this irritating me so bad? Why is this agitating me so bad? And I actually am running Inner Unity on my Healy right now because that's how agitated I felt after getting off that call with her, which always means that it's time for me to start playing a bigger game, which always means it's time for me to start stretching myself outside of my comfort zone. I am never, by the way, gonna ask any of you to do work that I'm not willing to do myself or that I'm not currently doing myself. So I'm gonna tell you that I absolutely have been half-assing. I've spent my whole life half-assing. Because the fact of the matter is that my 50% is more than most people's 100%. And if you're watching this live stream, it's likely that that's the same for you. It might not be your 50%, it might be your 60 or 70, it might be your 50, but it might be your 60 or 70, your 80% is better than most people's 100%. And so as a result, you don't push yourself as hard. That has been the story of my life, my entire life, right? I know that I'm meant to be playing a much bigger game. I have been challenged and called to the mat in the last week like I have not been challenged and called to the mat in maybe ever in my life. The people that are coming into my field of awareness, the people that are asking me to step it up into greater level versions of myself, from PR people to television show producers to Maria delivering a brand new life purpose for me, to literally all these people in my life. I have been so uncomfortable the last week to stepping into greater levels of magic and initiation inside my spiritual practices, to literally just being called to step up in every single area of my life. And it has been exhausting and it has been a struggle, and it's all been happening in the last week of this Ouroboros launch, right? No mistake. There is no mistake. And I will tell you something, if you've already signed up for Ouroboros, there's 44 on. If you've already signed up for Ouroboros, you are getting a version of me that has never existed. You're getting a version of me that I actually never even believed would be able to come into fruition. Like, there is so much more magic, there is so much more intensity, there is so much more purpose, there is so much more clarity. Like, that is literally who you are getting facilitating this Ouroboros container. So get ready, because shit's getting wild and crazy. But I am also being called to step up, and that's really like what I'm telling you, and it's why I'm on this live stream right now, sending you this transmission and activating this in you. So I haven't shared this with anyone because obviously I just got off with Maria, but my expanded life purpose, so I was the god of rich abundance. I was here to bring rich abundance to the planet. That is actually why this group is called that, right? And I've been living in that expression of myself now for, I guess, a little over a year. And my life has completely radically transformed in that year due to me fully embodying that expression of myself and many other things that I was called to do over that last year. But my new life purpose is soul creation. So I am literally here to assist you in embodying your soul. So to take your humanity and your soul and truly make them one. That is what I'm here for. And so, you know, here I am now asking you to step into the highest level version of yourself, asking you to embody your divine immortal soul, because that is the realest, most important version of you. And that is the version of you that really needs to be here on this planet right now. Like, there is no longer time for you to be struggling with your humanity. There's no longer time for you to buy into all of the excuses that your human makes on a day-to-day basis as to why you can't step into that highest level version of yourself. Like, that time is over, and I am here to deliver you that transmission. I am here to deliver you that transmission that you get to be the highest level version of yourself right now in this moment. You get to choose that. But you can't just choose it in words. You can't just choose it in thoughts. You have to choose it in deeds. You have to step up and step fully into that version of yourself by taking remarkable action. Okay, I'm gonna read some comments and then and I think I already said this, but I want to just reiterate this, because it is the remarkable action. It is the taking the remarkable inspired action that actually creates that reality. It's not the thoughts. It's not the feelings. It's not the prayers. It's not the hopes. It's not even the knowing that you are worthy and deserving of that thing. It is the action, because the universe cannot show up and step up and meet you and deliver the thing that you desire if you don't step forward to meet the universe. It's universal law. You have to take action. You have to step forward towards the thing that you desire. Otherwise, you can't be met by it. Okay? And if you haven't done a life purpose session with Maria, I highly recommend that you do it, because it's always, always life-changing. Listen, Laura, she wouldn't tell me either. I tried to bribe her last week to tell me too. And she was like, nope, I'm not telling you till I'm on the call with you. And I was like, damn you. Very few of you put, by the way, in the comments that you're half-assing. Very few of you put that you knew that you were meant to be playing a bigger game. And there's 42 people on here, and I did not get 42 comments from people saying that they were half-assing and playing a small game. So you guys need to really seriously start to get real with yourselves. Literally purging this weekend in my body to a next level energy. Yeah. So many people in the program saying, I can't wait to see what's coming. Sagittarius season. I know. Mallory sent me a message this morning and it was like, welcome to Sagittarius season. Offend people with bliss or with excitement or like enthusiasm. I'm like, yes, it's my time. It's my time. Offend all the people. So Nicola, my cousin Alicia's actually on, and I think it would be great for her to answer that question about, as a projector, can invitations be from source, or do they have to come from external sources like other people? I feel like I get invitations from source. I feel like I get invitations from the highest level version of myself. I feel like I get invitations all over the place, and those are the things that I respond to and that I'm constantly like going out and seeking. So I'm quarter-assing. I love it. I'm selectively half-assing it. Oh, so good, so good. So, and maybe Alicia hopped off. Maybe Alicia was like, I am not half-assing, I am getting off this live stream because I am full-assing, Leah. Maybe she was one of the ones that left us because she was just like, I don't have time for your bullshit, Leah. So, it's scary, right? It is actually scary to make this type of commitment to ourselves, because if we make this kind of commitment to ourselves and then we don't follow through, we're literally like slapping our own soul in the face. We're literally like, and we do this all the time, right? How often do we break commitments to our soul? How often do we, oh, she didn't leave, she's there. She is there, I see her comments. How often do we break commitments to ourselves? How often do we, Alicia's my cousin, by the way, for those of you that don't know. She's an incredible, incredible, incredible human design magic woman. So she knows all the human design things. She's my teacher. She's my guide in my human design experiment, and I cannot recommend her highly enough. I'm not a human design coach, so I defer all human design questions to her. She's taught me a lot, but she knows worlds and dimensions and yeah, more than me. All the things. Go to Alicia for all your human design needs. So, where was I? Now I lost my train of thought because I was telling you how great Alicia was. What was I saying? Someone remind me what I was talking about. Breaking commitments to soul, or breaking commitments to self. We will break commitments to ourselves quicker than we will break commitments to anyone else. And the really fucked up thing about that is that the commitments that we make to ourselves and to that highest level version of ourselves and to our soul are actually the most important commitments that we make. And they're more important than any commitments that we've made to anyone else. Because the truth is that we can't actually I don't know what she was just saying, Alicia was saying by that message she just put. We can't actually keep commitments to others if we can't keep them to ourselves first. We can't keep meaningful commitments. We can't actually be the creators that we are here designed and destined to be if we can't keep commitments to ourselves. It is probably the thing that holds us back the most from our greatness, is breaking commitments to ourselves. And even the little, Alicia is so great. She ended her live and told everyone to come here. Even the littlest ones, they're so meaningful and so important. It's when I say I'm going to rest, I'm going to rest. When I say I'm going to journal, I'm going to journal. When I say I'm going to take time off, I'm going to take time off. When I say I'm going to feed and nourish my soul in whatever way I'm being called to feed and nourish my soul, I do that thing. And this is actually, so the negative law of compounding, you guys, is ridiculously more powerful than the positive law of compounding. And this is just something that you need to know, because the law of compounding is like, oh, you take a small step forward, you take a small step forward, you take a small step forward, and then eventually you achieve you reach your destination, right? And that law of compounding means that as you keep taking those small steps, they have greater and greater impact. The same is true of negative, but it is more impactful, and the negative impact comes quicker than the positive impact comes from the law of compounding. And that breaking of commitments to yourself, no matter how small, it's not just I break a commitment and I don't move forward. Every single time you break a commitment to yourself, you move backward. And it might be a small step backward, but that negative law of compounding is a fucking steamroller. And it becomes it goes from a little tiny grain of sand to a giant boulder just like that. So watch, mind your mind, mind your mouth. When you make those commitments to yourself, follow through with them. It is so important. I cannot stress that to you enough. It is part of the reason why you're half-assing, because you're allowing yourself to continue to break commitments to yourself. Can you imagine? Think back over the last 12 months. Think back over the last 12 months of all the commitments that you made to yourself that you broke. Imagine right now today where you would be if you kept every single commitment you made to yourself in 2020. I would love to just hear from some of you that are watching. Where would you be right now? If you kept every commitment that you made to yourself in 2020, where would you be right now? Because for me, thanks for loving my color scheme. That makes me happy. For me, if I had kept every single commitment I made to myself in 2020, you guys, I would have a better body than J-Lo. I would be levitating at this point. And I'm not even joking about any of this stuff, by the way. I would probably have a couple $1 million in the bank. Yeah. So where would you guys be? If you had kept every single commitment you made to yourself in 2020, where would you be right now, getting ready to head into 2021? What version of yourself would be showing up right now on this live stream? Be rich as fuck. At my goal weight, larger business, in love. I'd be living in the mountains in Colorado, earning 20K months in passive income alone. I'd be in great shape physically, mentally, emotionally, and financially if I'd kept those commitments. So, my question to you is, I'd be making millions, my book would be published, I would not be making excuses for myself. So my question to you is, and I love that there are 44 people on this live stream while we're talking about this. Knowing that, looking back and just going, wow, if I had just kept the commitments that I made to myself, right? These little things that over the year, I make these commitments to myself. Like, I think New Year's resolutions are a bunch of bullshit, but if you guys were to make one resolution for 2021, let it be that you're gonna keep all of your commitments to yourself. Make that your resolution. Be sitting here at the end of 2021 going, wow, I did damn good. You know, and maybe it's like, wow, I kept 95% of my commitments to myself. Damn, I kept 98% of my commitments to myself, and look where I am. Look where I am. Because that is what I'm gonna be striving for in 2021. Like in 2021, I'm like, my only resolution is gonna be to keep my commitments to myself. I'm gonna continually be reminding myself how important it is for me to keep my commitments to myself. Because I don't wanna be sitting at the end of 2021 saying, look where I would be if I would have just kept my commitments to myself, right? I don't wanna be on this live stream again going, I don't have a better body than J-Lo. I'm not levitating. I don't have a couple $1 million sitting in my bank account right now. I'm just not available for that. Like I want, and this is the thing, you guys, 2021, it's gonna be full of chaos and fuckery, but you get to decide what 2021 looks like for you. You have the power. You are the creator. If you fully embrace your divinity, if you fully embrace your divine immortal soul and you decide to fully embody it in 2021, pure magic is going to occur. And it doesn't matter what's happening in the world. It doesn't matter, because you will be living as the highest level version of yourself, and the highest level version of yourself cannot exist in lower dimensions. It can only exist in higher dimensions. It can only exist in the new timeline. It cannot exist in the old timeline. And so as a direct result of you just keeping your commitments to yourself, you are going to step into that highest level version of yourself, and you are going to have fully realized that version of yourself by the end of the year. Yeah. Alicia, I haven't even told you what's been going on in my life. Like, I have to message you after this live stream and tell you everything that's been happening. It's crazy. Like, I literally, like, over the last week, you guys, for me, has been intense and crazy and insane and magical and mystical. And I literally, like, my face, my eyes, my skin, everything is transforming before my eyes because I have decided to step into this version of myself. Because I have decided that I'm no longer willing to break commitments to myself. Because I have decided that I am that highest level version of myself. I am my divine immortal soul. I am my divine immortal soul embodied. I am the full merging of humanity and divinity. And that is what I'm asking you to step into. But you cannot do it breaking commitments to yourself. Because the highest level version of yourself does not break commitments to themselves, ever. And Healy is helping me. Healy has been helping me so much this week, you guys. I cannot, over the last week, this device, if I ever knew, like, and you know, and I've been saying, I feel like it's the bridge between the quantum and the new reality and the new timeline that we're stepping into, all of this stuff. Like, this device this week has been, like, I cannot imagine ever living without this at this point. Like, the shift that it is creating is incredible. And that's just a side note, right? Somebody told me that your energy felt like the energy I was putting out earlier and my nose was on fire, which is completely your fault, by the way. Well, there's like massive things happening with our ancestors, Alicia, and I'm gonna have to message you about that later, but I'm sure that it's activating in you and you're feeling it as well. Yes, and San Pedro was kind of the catalyst to stepping into all of these things. I mean, there's been so many catalysts this year, but yeah, all the catalysts. So, yes, I am soul creator. I'm here to help you fully embody your soul. That's what I'm here to do. That's me. So the next thing I want to talk about is something that I think is going to make many of you very uncomfortable. So grab popcorn. Some of you are going to be okay with it. Some of you, it's going to make you really uncomfortable. There is this piece of us, part of why we break commitments to ourselves is because we don't believe that we're worthy and deserving of being the highest level version of ourselves. And so subconsciously we are sabotaging it. We sabotage it by breaking the commitments because we don't believe that we're worthy and deserving of embodying our divine immortal soul. We don't believe that we're worthy and deserving of being that highest level version of ourselves. We don't believe that we are worthy and deserving of stepping into that life that we deeply desire. And so as a result, we sabotage ourselves through non-action. We sabotage ourselves through breaking those commitments to self. And that has to stop. Like, that has to stop in this moment. The thing that is difficult about it is until you deconstruct your programming and conditioning around worthiness and deserving, it is damn near impossible to embody that worthiness and deserving to the level that it is required to step into that highest level version of yourself. So we're in a little bit of this catch-22. This is why I'm here. This is literally my purpose on this planet, is to help you deconstruct that programming and conditioning, but you have to let me do it. And you are the only one that can choose to let me do it. You are the only one that can choose to receive that transmission. You are the only one that can choose to receive that activation. You are the only one that can choose to show up and do that work, to deconstruct that programming, to deconstruct that conditioning that will allow you to step into full worthiness and deserving. And the way that you can do that right now is by being generous with yourself. Because this is the thing that I see us do the most, is that we are stingiest with ourselves. We are stingiest with the things that we know that our soul needs. So, and we will even self-sabotage in ways where we will go out and spend on ourselves and buy ourselves even a car, a house, our item of clothing, some jewelry, whatever the case may be. Some of us even go out and spend, right? We spend on things to make us feel worthy and deserving, but we are not generous with our soul and the things that our soul needs. And that is really what I'm calling you to today. I am calling you to stop being generous with yourself in a way that is actually a form of self-sabotage, and to start being generous with yourself when it comes to your soul, to doing the work that your soul knows it needs to do. And there are many of you that are watching this live stream that you're not generous with yourself in any way, right? You're not generous with yourself, even in a self-sabotaging way. You just are stingy with yourself. You're stingy with yourself. You are stingy with your soul. And you are, because you will not be generous with your soul, you are staying stuck and you are staying stuck in scarcity and lack consciousness. You are staying stuck in financial slavery consciousness. And it is impossible to emancipate yourself from that if you do not begin being generous with yourself. For me, it took a leap of faith. It took a leap of faith. It took me deciding to be generous with my soul, even when financially I couldn't figure out how I was going to make that happen. It took me being generous with my soul. That is the thing that created the shift for me. It took me believing that I could and would be supported by the highest level version of myself if I supported it in its desires. And that's a really scary thing. It is so hard to go out on a limb that way. It is so hard to fully back ourselves in that way. But that is what it requires. And that generosity, how do we be generous with our soul? Well, we be generous by honoring the commitments that it makes to itself, and by putting those commitments above all other things in our lives, and by reflecting back to ourselves that we are worthy and deserving of that generosity, and by investing in the things that our soul is saying yes to, by listening, and when the soul tells us yes, investing in those things, even if it doesn't make sense to us fully in the moment. Living by synchronicities. Synchronicities are the messages of your soul, okay? They don't just happen for no reason. Synchronicity is your soul speaking to you. So when the synchronicities start showing up in your life, when I start popping up in your dreams, you better fucking pull the trigger and invest in Ouroboros, because that's your soul speaking to you, right? When those messages come to you, when those synchronicities speak to you, it is your soul. Slow down and listen. Pay attention. Acknowledge. That is your soul speaking to you. Be generous with your soul. There are so many people in the world that are generous with others and will give and will give and will give and will give, and they just continually say no to their soul. And as a result, they are fucking miserable and broke and stuck in lack and scarcity. And they may not be broke financially, but they are broke spiritually, and they are broke energetically, and they are broke emotionally, and they are broke in their relationships, right? Because they refuse to be generous with their soul. Hopefully I answered the be generous with your soul questions. So, why is this so important right now? Well, it's important because the world is rapidly changing around us, and it's only going to get more intense. You've heard me talk about it, right? Like, we are seeing all the signs that mandatory vaccinations are going to be coming out, that major control of the collective is going to continue to try to be exercised. We are going to move into a year where rebellion and revolution is going to be happening. And when that comes, you are either going to be in a place where you are not going to have choice, you are not going to have freedom of choice, because you are still going to be entrenched in financial slavery consciousness, or You are going to be in a place where you have been emancipated from financial slavery consciousness, and you are going to have choice. You are going to have economic choice, which is in turn going to give you freedom. You are either going to be continuing to exist in the old timeline, where it is going to be easy to control and manipulate you, or you're going to be existing in the new timeline as the highest level version of yourself, with the ability to have choice, with the ability to have freedom, with the ability to not be controlled and manipulated like the majority of the collective is going to be. We are at a crossroads right now. We are at a crossroads right now for many reasons. One, because we're getting ready to move into the age of Aquarius. Two, because the world is literally a tea kettle that is about to freaking boil over and explode. Three, because this is the last time until the middle of next year that Ouroboros is going to be offered. This is it. Doors close in less than 72 hours. This is the last opportunity in Ouroboros that you're going to get me fully immersed in teaching, because I have these incredible Wealth Alchemy apprentices who are going to be running this program from me going forward. This is the last opportunity for you to get your one-on-one clearing with me by opting into VIP. This is the last opportunity that you're going to get before we move into this frantic, chaotic energy that is 2021 to emancipate yourself from financial slavery consciousness. So if you've been on the fence and you've been waiting for the sign, this is it. This is it. There is a sense of urgency. And I'm telling you, based upon what I have experienced over the last couple of weeks, those of you that are alumni and haven't signed up, you have never experienced energy like this from me before. The people that participate in this program are going to be radically transforming their lives. They are not going to be the same people on the other side of these 4 months. Many of you that are already in the program have already started to have huge wins. This happens every time, but the thing that I'm noticing the most is that it's not just financial wins. People are literally shifting levels and states of consciousness inside this container already, and we're only a week and a half in. There is just an incredible sense of urgency right now to do this work, like there's never been. And you know, what I was saying is, I don't even know that any other round after this is going to be as powerful as this one is, because of what's happening planetarily, because of what's happening in the world right now, because of the mass control that is going to be coming in and happening in 2021. Like, I don't know that there will ever be another round of Ouroboros that's this powerful. And like 91 people or something have said yes to their soul and have joined me on this journey. And I know that there are more of you out there. I know that there's more of you out there. I know that there are people on this live stream that are meant to be in this container with us. I know that there are people out there that are scared to take this leap, but their soul knows it's for them. I know that there are people whose souls are saying yes to this program that are saying no to themselves. And this is my call for you to be generous with your soul. Step fully into worthiness and deserving. Believe in yourself. Money is energy, and it is so easy to create. It is so easy to magnetize. It is so easy to attract. And I know that sitting on the other side of this, it is so hard to comprehend this. But I'm telling you that the tools and the skills that you will learn in this program are going to transform the way that you interact and see money. And it will get you to a place where you no longer have to be worried about not having enough. Because you will feel and fully embody your worthiness and your deserving, and you will step into that highest level version of yourself and your soul, and that will be activated within you. And as a result, you will recognize fully that you are the most powerful creator in your reality, and then you will go out and you will create that reality. That is what this program does. Yeah, and we have the 0 point dimension and the Earth Star chakra clearing tomorrow. We have our very first multi-dimensional clear happening tomorrow, so you haven't even missed that. We've had a welcome call and we've had one other content call, but it's so easy to get caught up right now and still be live for the clearing tomorrow. Erica said I already made half back of what I put in to get into Ouroboros, and she signed up VIP, so that is incredible. So happy I made the investment, and I was scared, but I did it anyway. I'm so happy you made the investment too, Kelly. You've been working with me for a long time, right? And now was your time because you felt that sense of urgency. And Erica too, you've been working with me a long time. There are people in this program that have been working with me for years, folks, that finally said yes right now because they could feel the urgency. They could feel the power of this container. Alumni, get your asses into VIP. The 4-hour intensive that we're gonna do, the 4-hour, like basically wealth VIP day that we're gonna do is gonna be fucking next level. I cannot. I stepped into my fear, and the moment I signed up for Ouroboros, the fear turned into an electric energy. I'm deeply grateful for the me who signed up for Ouroboros. I'm deeply grateful for the you that signed up for Ouroboros, Alicia, as well. She's alumni. Trisha says, best money I ever spent, VIP, here I come. VIP all in. I've already made my money back too, Trisha, so amazing. So, I think that's my message today for you. And if Ouroboros is a soul yes to you, be generous with your soul, invest in yourself. And even if it's not, please, 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 decide in this moment to no longer break commitments to your soul. Decide to shift your reality by being generous and honoring the thing that your soul desires. And when you make the commitments to it, follow through. Don't be sitting at this time of 2021 asking yourself the question again, if I didn't break all those commitments to myself, where would I be? Be celebrating the fact that you kept those commitments. Be celebrating it. Be celebrating the fact that you kept those commitments to yourself. Next year, this time. Bijou says, I feel called. I keep lurking on your Facebook Lives, but I'm scared. If you're not scared, then you literally probably shouldn't join, because this work is deep. This work is intense. It requires all-in commitment. It's going to require you to get uncomfortable as fuck. So if you're not a little bit scared, then you probably shouldn't pull the trigger, right? There is a feeling of, and I think that's what Nicole was speaking to. She was scared, and then as soon as she did it, it turned into this like electricity, into this force, right? Who else is watching and is like, I'm on the fence. Like, I'm on the fence. I'm super interested to know how many of you are watching right now that are like, I'm on the fence. Like, I've thought about it. I'm thinking about it. I'm wondering about it. I feel like my soul's saying yes, but I'm afraid for X, Y, and Z. Like, who is watching that's on the fence? While I get you the link to do the thing. I was petrified. If you're scared, that's why you need to be in this. This is what she's talking about. Follow your soul. We're all in this together, opening up, digging deeper to bring questions to the surface. I'm scared and I'm an apprentice. Every single group takes us to a next level. I got really sick after the generational clears. Yeah, because your body's moving out all of that old programming and conditioning. Your body is moving that through your system. You've been holding on to that. In many cases, especially the ancestral stuff, like it can impact our physical body so much because literally, Laura, why are you sharing a YouTube video? There's the link for Ouroboros so you guys can sign up. That's our physical body moving out, like literally moving out generations of ancestral DNA and baggage that we're carrying around scarcity and lack and It's like it's stored so deeply in the cells of our body and in our organ systems and in our meridian systems. It's like, it's a purging. It's literally can sometimes be a physical purging to get that stuff out. And it can be rough while you're going through it, but I promise you, you will feel better on the other side of it. I felt too, then I did it, energy immediately changed. Jenny, what's coming up for you? Tia says, I am, because right now I'm not even positive how I'm going to pay other bills outside of my rent after the 1st. And what would freedom mean, right? Like, what would freedom of choice and freedom to know that you've got this and you can make it work, and to know that money is energy and that you're magnetic to money and that you absolutely have the ability to manifest that and so much more in your life, and that you're worthy and deserving of states of overflow, and that reality that you're existing in right now, that timeline of there isn't enough or there's only just enough, like, it's not real. It's literally not real. And you have the ability to shift that. You can shift that right now with a decision. I reached out to Sophie in the chat to sign up. People are private messaging me. Stephanie reached out to Sophie in the chat to sign up. Let's make sure Sophie is all hands on deck right now. The other option that you guys have that is available to you is that you get to if you have the desire, or if you're like, I've got the money, but it's not here right this minute, like I don't get paid until the 1st or whatever the case may be, you have the ability to, and it was originally post date through November 30th, but I'm actually allowing you guys to post date payments through December 1st because that's my birthday, and I just feel like that's a great little birthday gift to you from me. You can post date your first payment to be as late as December 1st. And if that is what you want to do, you just need to email sophie@theleahsteele.com. So Stephanie, I just asked Sophie to make sure she gets in with you. Monica, I'm on the fence. I'm not afraid. However, I'm not sure if my soul is guiding me to it. You are sure though. Just ask. Just ask your soul. It knows. Is it a yes? Is it a no? And that's it. Like, it's not something that you need to overthink. It's like, do you keep showing up on these live streams waiting for me to say one more thing? If that's the case, then just fucking do the thing, right? Don't keep waiting for me to say the thing. I've already said it. I've already said it a million times, right? It's just, is it a yes? Is it a no? And if it's a yes, then do the thing. I don't trust myself enough. Well, what would happen for you what would you do if you did? If you did trust yourself enough, what would you do? Pete, no, because I jumped over that motherfucking fence and now I'm scared. You're fine, Pete. You're gonna be fine. Truth is, we have no choice but to step up. Yeah. I was like that. My ego was fighting it. Your soul wants it. Yeah. So if it's a negotiation, that's the other thing I think that's so important that I say a lot. If there's a negotiation happening, that is your ego. That is not your soul. Ask your soul. There's some kind of like, oh, but can I? Oh, but will I? Ah, but will it? Like that is your ego. That is not your soul. There's an obligation for us to step up right now for us and for the support of others that are going to be awake and participating in the rebellion. Absolutely. Literally, video literally cut off as you're responding to me. It was literally saying, go do the thing. Click the link. I'm now looking at the flipping fence. Yes, there are VIP spots left. There are 2 VIP spots left. Trina said, I wasn't sure about spending the money either in the moment, but it truly comes back to you getting double back to me yesterday from past taxes that covered the class and then some. I love that. Each Ouroboros brings a new level of awareness for me. This is round 3, and I'm so excited to see what this round will bring. I'm already feeling it. Love that. So that's a 3-time alumnus there that's talking about. We need as many people free from the slavery codes for what's coming. We need you, and we need you right now. Come join us. Yes, Kelsey, absolutely. I figure I wouldn't be here if it wasn't so. Absolutely, Dina. Did I get your DM, Leah? I have not been in any of my DMs this morning because I have been up and going since I woke up. Where did you send it to me? Oh, wait, nope, I just got it. Okay, Ella, I'll respond to that later. I'm not quite sure what I'm reading, so I will look at that. I'm hoping to keep my commitment of getting rest and listening to my solfeggio frequencies. See you at the clearing tomorrow. Oh, I'm hopping off to keep my commitment of getting rest and listening to my solfeggio frequencies. Yes, Kelly, I will see you on the clearing tomorrow. I love it. I'm scared too financially. I've just had a major health scare. I'm pretty sure I created as everything was flowing in life and I had to sabotage it. I was creating so many incredible funnels. My birthday is Wednesday and I want to be generous to myself. Is there still a payment option? Yes, there's a 12-month payment plan option. I want one. If I'm doing it, I'm fucking doing it. Amazing, Bijou. Do the damn thing. Anya, Monica Lee, deconstruction of all my money beliefs from literally poverty mindset to abundance and freedom to create. My self-worth and knowing that it is my birthright to live the life I deeply desire and to do the work I am meant to do in the world. I'm doing that now. She is, which is incredible. In a major way and in a big way. Deconstruction of the programming and conditioning of the world and becoming free to do what I want. Anything that I was not allowing myself to do before, plus new opportunities that bring in the financial freedom. Yeah. One of those VIP spots is mine. I'm emailing Sophie to increase the payment for this, all in round 2. Just listening to you is activated to the point where I've unblocked heaps of blocks and I'm on fire at the moment. It's crazy. I love it. Ashley, listened to all your videos in the past month. Have you signed up for Ouroboros? You for sure need to do the thing. So that's it, you guys. That's all I have. Say yes to your soul. Really, really, really say yes to your soul and keep your commitments to yourself because you are so worthy and so deserving of living the life that you desire. If you have a dream and you can conceive of something, it is because you were meant to achieve it. This life is not to be wasted and we cannot waste another minute of it because it is so beautiful. And I wake up every day filled with so much gratitude for the choices that I have that enable me to live this life. And your dream life, whatever that is, it's available to you. It's available to you right now. Ashley, you need to go do the thing. I just saw your thing that said you haven't yet, and you're literally sitting here saying how activated you are. I'm like, I can't even imagine what you're gonna be like after Ouroboros. So that's all I have to say. I'm like ripping my Healy off of me now. Doors are closing soon, so do the thing. Yes, Alicia Baker, round 3 alumnus, welcome. Yes, you can use a credit card. I feel like ocean waves crashing under my skin. I love it. Well, I'm literally looking at ocean waves crashing right out in front of my villa right now, so maybe it's that. Alicia, alumnus round 3, doing the damn thing. All right, I love you all. Have an amazing rest of your day, morning, evening, wherever you are in the world, as you are watching this live stream or you are catching the replay. Do the thing, pull the trigger, say yes to your soul. Live the life you deeply desire. You're so worthy, you're so deserving. I love you all. Mwah. I'm gonna go get a massage now because that's what my soul is telling me to do. Do the things, people, period. There's Michelle, back for round 3. Michelle Patrick, alumnus, back for her 3rd round of Ouroboros. Michelle, wait till you hear what my new life purpose is. Of course, as always, we are joined in unity. So I'm gonna go get my massage, and I hope to come out to, wouldn't it be beautiful if I came out to 111 people signed up for Ouroboros? I would maybe just shut the whole thing down right then. I would be like, that's it. No more are allowed in. We've got 111. Okay, I love you guys. I will talk to you soon. Mwah.